Hi. In this demo, I will demonstrate how SkyDRM can integrate with Microsoft Visio to provide persistent data protection of sensitive files for secure collaboration with internal users and external partners. SkyDRM seamlessly integrates with Microsoft Visio by enabling users to apply and enforce granular usage controls directly within Microsoft Visio diagrams and files. This allows organizations to protect sensitive design content while ensuring authorized users can continue working according to their assigned permissions, such as view, edit, print, screen capture, or extract. The Microsoft Visio files remain fully functional while protected, allowing teams to collaborate on diagrams and technical designs with confidence. Before we begin, let's review the setup for this demo. Under the classification category, I have set up a confidential and secret label for the demo files. I have also prepared the following Microsoft Visio file types: .vsdx, .bxtx, and .vssx. Lastly, the following policies have been configured for each user. John Tyler from CipherEdge has full control on confidential data. John Tyler from CipherEdge has view, print, and watermark permissions on secret data. Jimmy Carter from TechNova has view, edit, screen capture, and watermark permissions on confidential data. Jimmy Carter from TechNova has no permissions on secret data. Now, let's move to the Active Directory for user setup. Here, you can see that John Tyler is from CipherEdge Company and Jimmy Carter is from TechNova Company. The demo will go over 4 use cases. Let's review what each use case will cover. Use Case 1. CipherEdge users access secret data and are granted view and print permissions with a watermark on files protected with the secret label. Use Case 2. CipherEdge users access confidential data and are granted full permissions on files protected with the confidential label. Use Case 3. TechNova users access confidential data and are granted view, edit, and screen capture permissions with a watermark on files protected with the confidential label. Use Case 4. TechNova users access secret data and are not granted any permissions on files protected with the secret label. Now, let's go into further detail for each use case and demo. Use Case 1. CipherEdge users access secret data. CipherEdge users are granted view and print permissions with a watermark on files protected with the secret label. The following actions will be demonstrated. Let's proceed with the demo for Use Case 1. First, I will sign into SkyDRM Desktop for Windows as John Tyler, a CipherEdge user, and navigate to Desktop. Let's right-click to check the file information using SkyDRM View File Info for appsflow.vsdx.nxl. As you can see, the file's classification is secret, and I am only assigned with view and print permissions, with a watermark applied. Let's validate these. When I double-click to open the Microsoft Visio file, it opens automatically with the watermark applied. Let's try to modify the document by entering a new text. Then, close and save the file. As you can see, when I attempt to save the changes made, the SkyDRM pop-up notification informs me that my attempt to edit and save is unsuccessful. Now, let's reopen the file and try to print the file to PDF. The print dialog opens. Let's name the file as DE and click Save. As you can see, I have created the PDF successfully. Next, let's attempt to capture the screen. This black screen indicates that my attempt to screen capture was unsuccessful. Lastly, I will try to copy content from the document. The notification from the Microsoft Visio context menu pops up, showing that my attempt to copy content was unsuccessful. For additional confirmation, we can see that the clipboard is empty, meaning that no content from the file with the secret label was copied. To conclude Use Case 1, these behaviors are expected and consistent with the applied permissions. Since CipherEdge users do not have edit, screen capture, or extract permissions, only view and print actions are permitted in the secret file. Now, let's move into Use Case 2. CipherEdge users access confidential data. CipherEdge users are granted full permissions on files protected with the confidential label. The following actions will be demonstrated. Let's proceed with the demo for Use Case 2. Similar to Use Case 1, I am still signed into SkyDRM desktop for Windows as John Tyler, a CipherEdge user. I navigate to C drive, demo video, docs, and right-click to check the file information using SkyDRM view file info for organizations.vsdx.nxl. We can see that the file classification is confidential, and I am assigned full control permissions. Let's validate these. Let's double-click to open the file in Microsoft Visio. I will attempt to edit the presentation by adding new text. Then close and save the changes made. Now, let's try to open the file again. As you can see, the edits made to the protected file are saved successfully. Now, let's try printing the file to PDF. The print dialog opens. Let's name the file as TESTT and click Save. As you can see, I have successfully printed the file to PDF. I will attempt to capture the screen using the snipping tool. Here, you can see that I am able to capture screenshots of the content. Lastly, let's try copying content from the file and paste it into another Word document. As you can see, I can paste the content directly into a new Word file since I have the copy permission. To conclude use case 2, these behaviors are expected and consistent with the applied permissions. With full control permissions, I can view, edit, print, capture the screen, and copy content from the confidential file. Let's move into use case 3. TechNova users access confidential data. TechNova users are granted with view, edit, and screen capture permissions with a watermark on files protected with the confidential label. The following actions will be demonstrated. Let's proceed with the demo for use case 3. I am currently signed into SkyDRM desktop for Windows as Jimmy Carter, a TechNova user. Let's navigate to C drive, demo video, docs. Now, I right-click to check the file information using SkyDRM view file info for officeid.vsdx.nxl. We can see that the file is classified as confidential, and I am only granted permissions to view, edit, and screen capture with a watermark applied on this confidential file. Let's validate the permissions. I double-click to open the file, and it opens automatically in Microsoft Visio with the watermark applied. I will try editing a cell by adding some text. Then, I attempt to close and save the changes back to the protected file. Now, let's reopen the file. We can see that the changes have been retained successfully. Now, I will attempt to print the file to PDF. As you can see from the notification, my attempt to print the file to PDF is unsuccessful, as TechNova users have no permissions to print the confidential files. Let's try to capture the screen using the snipping tool. As you can see, the screen capture is successful. Let's try copying content from the document. As you can see in the Microsoft Visio context menu, my attempt to copy content is unsuccessful, as TechNova users have no permission to copy content from confidential files. To conclude use case 3, these behaviors are expected and consistent with the applied permissions. Since TechNova users do not have print or extract permissions, only view, edit, and screen capture actions are permitted on confidential files. Let's move to use case 4. TechNova users access secret data. TechNova users are not granted any permission on files protected with the secret label. The following actions will be demonstrated. Let's proceed with the demo for use case 4. Similar to use case 3, I am still signed into SkyDRM desktop for Windows as Jimmy Carter, a TechNova user. I navigate to C drive, demo video, docs, and right-click to check the file information using SkyDRM view file info for cloudstructure.vsdx.nxl. We can see that the file is classified as secret, and I do not have any permissions on this secret file. Let's validate the permissions. When I attempt to double-click and open the file, We can see from the notifications that my attempt to open and view the secret file is unsuccessful. These behaviors are expected and consistent with the applied permissions. Since TechNova users do not have any permissions, no actions are permitted in this secret file. With this, we conclude our demonstration on SkyDRM integration for Microsoft Visio. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in learning more about SkyDRM, please subscribe to the NextLabs channel and stay tuned for other videos on the topic.